Next at 5, homeless residents of Grants Pass are met with challenges as rain and wind hit their resting sites. And areas in Siskiyou County have also been dealing with flooding. A look at the damage and how emergency services are responding. Plus, a $60,000 reward is being offered to anyone with information leading to the arrest of certain poachers. Those details coming up.
Live, local, late breaking. This is NewsWatch 12 at 5.
Unhoused residents are struggling to hold up with wind and rain hitting the 2 city encampments in Grants Pass. Those residents facing conditions day by day. Thank you for joining us for NewsWatch 12 at 5. I'm Haley Gravitt. The pressure is on to find a long-term solution as residents take on the challenges and Grants Pass prepares for their mayor-elect to take office. NewsWatch 12's lead column joins us from Grants Pass to show us the conditions at one of the city's resting sites. Leave.
Haley, these tents and tarps, some of the only protection that unhoused residents in Grants Pass have against the wind and the rain. Some of them even telling me that the rocks on the ground are poking holes in their tent and water making wet their dirty laundry outside. Right now, the pressure is on to find a long-term solution. Grants Pass residents have 2 options when it comes to public camping in the city. One site at 755 Southeast J Street and another at 712 Northeast 7th Street. People can camp at each site for up to a week at a time, but homeless community members say the move is easier said than done, and the wet weather isn't helping at all.
We're just trying to make it day by day. We're human. We're not animals. It's just really sad that people think that that's what we are. We're nothing but trash.
Mobile Integrative Navigation Team, or MINT, is slated for a grant agreement with the city. This would give the nonprofit money to buy a property to use as a homeless shelter. But with the new mayor and council taking control this month, the partnership could be uncertain. Mayor-elect Clint Scherf set to take the helm this upcoming Monday along with a new council. We'll hear from him in our later newscasts tonight. Reporting live in Grants Pass, I'm Leaf Collum.
Leave, thank you. And localized flooding continues to impact parts of Siskiyou County, particularly in the areas like Scott Valley and Fort Jones. Samantha Cadera saw the flooding firsthand earlier today.
Now, it might be bright and sunny right now, but that definitely hasn't been the case the last few days here in Sam's Valley, or let alone the last few weeks across all of Siskiyou County. Right behind me is supposed to be 2 creeks, but it really looks like one giant lake, and that's because of the heavy rainfall and severe flooding that's affecting people in ways that many didn't expect.
Well, as you can see, we've got all these puddles here, but over in Fort Jones, it's really bad. I mean, I feel sorry for all the farmers who have all the hay, because it is flooded bad. It looks like a big old lake out there now.
The constant rain has taken its toll, and Michelle told me that she's been extra cautious on the road despite the flooding. She's thankful the main roads haven't been submerged, though she's still concerned about the ongoing storms.
You just have to be careful, and I would suggest going under the speed limit. When it's bad weather and at night, go under the speed limit. You don't want to hit deer.
While conditions have improved slightly today, the risk of further flooding remains. I also spoke with the Director of Emergency Services, who shared advice on how to stay prepared as the storm system continues.
Roads have been flooded, which is a great reminder. Do not drive over a flooded road. If it's flooded, find an alternate route. It's a little bit longer, but it's safety first, and make sure that you're finding a safe way to go.
To stay informed, residents are urged to sign up for Siskiyou County alerts through Zone Haven and to keep checking updates from the Siskiyou County Office of Emergency Services. In Scott Valley, I'm Samantha Cadera.
We see the impacts there of the rain. Let's check in with Storm Tracker 12 Chief Meteorologist Matt Hoffman, because more wet weather is on the horizon for us.
Yeah, we're definitely not done yet with the rain and higher elevation snow. Take a look outside across our NewsWatch 12 weather cam network. Temperatures are getting chillier as colder air moving into southern Oregon and northern California. Snow levels are lowering out there. Currently looking at pretty scattered rain and higher elevation snow showers, some snow working up along the Cascades, and then some spotty to scattered showers further to the west to the coast. Down into the east side in Siskiyou County, a pretty hit and miss rain and snow showers. Some of these snow showers making for some slippery conditions on the roads. But notice off to the west, this batch of cloud cover, that's going to be more expansive rain and snow that's going to move in tonight. Snow levels will continue to lower tonight, dropping to about 3,000 feet. And you can see the impact of that snow up along the Cascades. Roads getting a little bit slippery at 140 at Lake of the Woods and up towards Diamond Lake Junction. Road conditions, we will be seeing those getting worse as we head into tonight. The worst conditions will be overnight into the early morning hours tomorrow through our Cascade passes, but they still could stay pretty slick through the day tomorrow. We'll have some more wet and wintry weather even through the second half of your Saturday, but winter weather advisories in place for the Cascades and Siskiyous, western Siskiyou County, above 3,500 feet until 10 a.m. tomorrow. So tonight it's going to be a wet and wintry one. Snow mainly staying above 3,000 feet. Biggest travel impacts will be above about 3,500 feet. We'll talk additional snowfall amounts that we're expecting into tomorrow, and then details on some drier weather in our extended forecast. That's all coming up in just a bit.
And earlier this week, multiple Rogue Valley alumni got the chance to show off their talent in Pasadena for the Rose Parade. Today we spoke with Duck freshman Eric Osberg, who says it's been an incredible first year. The South Medford alum plays trombone in the marching band and says that he grew up watching the Rose Parade with his family. He had no idea he'd be marching in it one day.
When you first walked into the Rose Bowl Stadium, just hit with the loud cheering of fans, and it was amazing, and it felt like such an honor to be able to be there for the Ducks.
And what made it even more special was sharing the experience with friends from South Medford High School. Eric tells us it was a dream come true to perform in front of millions and to do it alongside those who have supported him since day one. And Tail Waggers Rescue in Grants Pass helps people going through hard times to care for their pets. Right now, they're asking for community support to continue caring for your furry friends within the community. Luke Doughton has the story.
I only want her to be safe and happy no matter what, so it was then that I decided to surrender her.
Holly Schaffner was in a car accident with her dog Baby in early December. During the chaos and confusion after the crash, Baby ran and was eventually taken into a nearby shelter. Schaffner ended up breaking both her legs and was unable to care for Baby. She had to surrender Baby because she couldn't afford her immunizations while she was out of work. During the entire ordeal, one woman did everything she could to help Schaffner keep Baby.
She was the only one to respond, and not only did she respond, but she left a message on her message machine saying, "Hey Holly, if this is you, please call me back."
Maria Modica runs the rescue in Grants Pass. They help people who are homeless or low income afford vet care and food for their animals. They're completely donation funded, but right now the donations have stopped coming in and there are less volunteers to foster animals.
I mean, we were really thriving at one point, and now we're crawling. Almost stopped.
Without the support, Tail Waggers is unable to help those going through those hard times. When funds and volunteers were abundant, Tail Waggers was able to help dogs and their owners all the time, like Courtney Flatt and her dog Ruby. Ruby had parvovirus and spent a lot of time in the ER. Tail Waggers paid her vet bills and also got a motel room so Courtney could be with Ruby while she recovered.
For a few days, I cried. I cried and I cried and I cried because I had this little tiny child who was so sick and I didn't know what to do.
If someone or something had been available for Schaffner, her story could have been like Courtney and Ruby's. In Grants Pass, I'm Luke Doughton.
And if you're interested in donating time, money, or pet supplies, head on over to kdrv.com. You can find that information. Now on to a crime alert. A woman is in jail today for shooting her boyfriend. The shooting happened around 8:30 Sunday morning. A bystander reported the shooting. Klamath Falls police reached out to the victim, who said someone tried to rob him. Detectives later learned the attempted robbery never happened. Police identified the shooter as the victim's girlfriend, Natalie Rising. She was arrested on charges of attempted murder, assault, and unlawful use of a weapon. More details can be found on kdrv.com. 4 wolf poaching cases have a $60,000 reward for information leading to an arrest. We do want to warn you, some of the images you're about to see may be disturbing to some viewers. Oregon Department of Fish and Wildlife announcing rewards this week, the largest involving 3 gray wolves killed east of Bly a year ago. ODFW says poachers illegally kill 5,000 animals that get recovered per year. It says that's just a fraction of the poachings.
We have 128 fish and wildlife troopers on the ground, and that's coverage for all of Oregon, all of our landscapes, as well as our marine areas and our rivers. So we really rely on the public to report.
Shaw says anglers and hunters report the most poaching. She advises people to safely get photos of poaching suspects' cars and even license plates if possible. Rewards for wolf poaching arrests range from $12,000 to $60,000. And today we have an update on how much Oregon Housing and Community Services made off of auctioning the mobile units that were originally intended for Alameda fire survivors. 68 units were sold over 2 auction periods in October and November. With the sold amount and buyer's premium, OHCS was able to make over $2.6 million. The units were sold individually and in units of 4, 5, 6, and 8. Another 72 units will be auctioned off this spring in Hermiston.